Hello, so I have my capsule endoscopy on Wednesday and I'm sick of doing it by myself, so this time you're all coming with me. I'm going to try and do a bit of vlogging about my preparation and stuff. So this is a capsule endoscopy and it's going to be placed via gastroscopy because if I just swallow the camera then it's just going to spin in place for ages. So it's really unpleasant and I have to do bowel prep the day before. So the procedure's on Wednesday, bowel prep is Tuesday, and today is Monday. And I've been thinking about it since like about a week ago anyway. So today what I've been doing is just a little bit of shopping for preparation. So I got some straws because apparently the bowel prep might taste better if you drink it through a straw to try and like avoid your taste buds. So we'll give that a go. I got some of these clear fruits from Morrison's. Apparently you can suck these like between doing bowel prep as well. You need to avoid the purple and the red ones, and I'll probably avoid the orange ones as well because like the dye can mean it's like less clear when they're looking at your bowel. So I'm going to have the green ones and the yellow ones, so I will separate those to make sure I don't forget later. And then I've also got, hang on, yes, that's my cookie jar. It's really hard to do this one-handed. I'm also noticing how, whatever, it's Sprite. There we go. What a big reveal for nothing that was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a couple of these cans a few hours before I start the bowel prep. Apparently it's okay to have these like during prep as well. Some people on Lynch syndrome forums swear by mixing the bowel prep with Coke Zero instead of water. So if it's okay to mix it with Coke Zero, then it's also okay to just drink Sprite sort of alongside the bowel prep. I did try the Coke method last time, but it made me really bloated and sick, and it was really horrible. So not for me. Works well for other people, but as much as I love Coke, it didn't do it for me. So that's the preparation shopping that I've done today, and I'll check back in with you later on or tomorrow, and we'll talk about the bowel prep and try to decide what to wear to an appointment because there's considerations everywhere you go. Ciao for now. Forgot to mention a couple of things that I didn't need to buy but I already had. So the first is this lemon cordial, which I'm going to mix with my bowel prep to make it taste a bit better, which is what I normally use. And then I also have some flavoured water because this is for on the day of my my capsule because I won't be able to have fizzy drinks afterwards. So I'm not that keen on just plain water. So that's what I'll be drinking during the day on the day of the capsule. Also, I know I sound awful. I've got a cold. It's not COVID. I have checked. Last time my capsule was cancelled because I had COVID and I had already done the bowel prep the night before and I didn't realise I had COVID until the morning, so I did bowel prep for no reason. It was really awful. So I didn't want to repeat of that, but I've just got a bit of a cold, so hopefully all will be well on the day. So it's nearly 8:15 in the morning on Tuesday, bowel prep day. Procedure tomorrow, so I'm already a bit annoyed because the hospital hasn't included, firstly, it hasn't included my, what do you call them, my forms, my like consent forms for both procedures that they normally send to me, so I'm just going to have to tell them when I arrive that they didn't send them, probably because this is a rebooking of an appointment that didn't go ahead, and maybe they just didn't, you know, assume that I chucked everything away, which I did. So yes, so there's that, and then also the leaflet that normally comes with the Movi Prep that tells you all the stuff that you can have, like what you can have for breakfast, what's allowed, what's not allowed, what time to take the Movi Prep, you know, kind of important, isn't in there. So I'm having to rely on my memory. I did try looking on the internet, but that just gave me like a load of contradicting stuff about what you can and can't eat. So it's just really not useful. I mean, when people have to resort to going on the internet because the medical system hasn't given them the information that they need, it's just not on, really. So that's annoying. It's a good thing I've done this quite a few times now, so I do remember what was in the leaflet last time. And last time I had cheese on toast for breakfast, and I also had Ben & Jerry's cookie dough ice cream, but you can only eat the smooth bits, so I ate around the cookie dough. I don't really fancy ice cream for breakfast today, so might just stick with cheese on toast and maybe, I don't know, maybe some scrambled eggs, but I can't really be bothered to cook eggs this morning. And then I'm starting work at 9 because, you know, life continues. So yeah, so woke up feeling fairly upbeat, and then I saw that half of the information that I need is missing. So, yay. Alright, it's lunchtime, so what I'm doing now is I'm making my first batch of bowel prep for later, and then I'm going to put it in the fridge, so it's nice and chilled when it comes to drinking it. So, Movi Prep, you get a big sachet and a little sachet. And you get 2 of those, so 1 big and 1 little in each. So that's your first dose. So, reading the instructions, even though I've done this how many times now? Fairly sure I know what I'm doing. So dissolve the contents of 1 sachet A and 1 sachet B with water. That's my little sachet, that's sachet B. Quite satisfying after you've done a little bit as well to be able to put like each bit in the bin after you've done it. Powder gets in your throat a bit while you're doing it. Yeah, it's quite satisfying to just be able to throw the packets away afterwards. Like, yes, that bit is done. Okay, dissolve contents of... Taste lemony when all you've done is shake it out. Dissolve the contents of 1 sachet A and 1 sachet B with water to make 1 litre solution. So I've got my litre jug. What I'm going to do this time is what I normally do is I mix it up with water and then I put it in a glass each time for my 4 glasses, 250ml. But what I thought I'd do this time is put the lemon straight into the jug with the water, because otherwise I'm just giving myself like excess fluid, if that makes sense, because I'm putting in extra lemon after I've already made up a litre. So if I put a bit of, I need a spoon, 1 sec. If I put a bit of water in now and then see how much that makes, and then see, because I'm not really sure how much lemon to put in. But yeah, I realise you can't see, but that's what it looks like at the minute, and just give it a stir and it looks really gloopy. What you don't want to do is put refrigerated water in, because it's too cold for it to mix very well. So they always say you can chill it afterwards once you've made it up, but don't put like really cold water in. But, I mean, the water from the tap is cold anyway, so I don't know. This is fine anyway. How I do it is fine. So just trying to get all of the lumps out, and that's 600ml. I'm not going to put that much lemon in. If I put a bit of lemon in now and just see where that takes us up to. So if I do 4 times, like how much I think I would put in a glass. So glass of lemon, glass of lemon, glass of lemon, glass of lemon. It's such a stupid way of doing it, but I've got my straws as well, so I'm hoping that that's going to help. and it'll all be chilled, and so that takes us up to like 750 ml. So I just need to put a bit more water in and get a bit more. It's like being on a cooking show. Why doesn't Gordon Ramsay do a segment like this? I think it would be fantastic. So I'm just putting in a bit more water to get us up to a litre. And there we go. That. Another stir just to try and get some more of the bits out, but I think that's pretty good. So I don't need to actually start taking it until 5 o'clock. So that's fine. So that's my prep. I'm going to put it in the fridge. And then, because obviously I can't eat anything for the rest of the day until, I don't know, in probably over 24 hours I'll be able to eat something. It seems a bit pointless having a lunch break really from work, which you can't eat anything. But I'm going to go watch Coronation Street from last night, and I'll see you later when it's time to take the bowel prep. So, I guess I'm live. I'm having such a nightmare with Instagram these past couple of days. So I decided that I was going to be chronicling my capsule endoscopy placed via gastroscopy, and the bowel prep for the day before, and other bits and pieces of like planning and all of the kind of thought that goes into like planning for this procedure. But what I didn't put any thought into was, do I know how to put a long video on Instagram? And the answer was no. So we're trying to do a live now, and then I'm hoping that I'll be able to download it afterwards. Otherwise I'll be a little bit annoyed that it's just gone into the ether. Hello. I've just got back from my hospital appointment this morning, so I did the bowel prep yesterday, did a little video, again had some issues with it being chopped off and stuff, but I have got a whole video, and what I think I'm going to do is when everything is over, especially coming up to Bowel Cancer Awareness Month in April, what I'm going to do is sort of piece everything together and then make one long video out of it, and then hopefully that'll be useful for somebody. So I did my bowel prep yesterday evening. So I did the first dose at 5 o'clock and then the second one at 8 o'clock, and it wasn't too bad actually. It was better than it went last time, because last time I put Coke in with the bowel prep and mixed it with Coke instead of water, Coke Zero, which is something that a lot of people swear by, but it just made me feel like really bloated and sick, so it just wasn't good. So I thought, well, this time I'll just do what I normally do, which is to mix it with lemon cordial, and I used a straw, and I had some sort of clear fruity sweets to suck, and yeah, it wasn't too bad. I managed to get it all down and get it done really quickly. So I'm hoping that it's clear this time, because we're having to do a redo because the last one wasn't clear enough. So yes, so what happens is, well, what I've had is I've had a capsule endoscopy. So the capsule is the little camera that you swallow. So you swallow, you go to the hospital, they give you like all of this recording equipment to put on, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Hi Lush Your Life. So yes, so normally what would happen is they would give you they put all the recording equipment on you, and then they give you the camera to swallow with like the tiniest bit of water. You swallow the camera. It's just like a little sort of vitamin pill sized thing. You swallow it, you go off, you go about your normal day, Eventually, at some point during the day, like the camera will pass into the toilet. They don't want it back. They make that very clear. That would just be a nightmare for everybody. And then in the evening or the next day, you take the recording equipment back to the hospital so that they can like get all of the data off of it, all of the little pictures that the camera has taken, because it takes like thousands of pictures while it passes like through your whole system. And that's it. And then they look at the recording, they give the recorder to the next person or whatever. And it's all fine, and you don't spend too long at the hospital. It eases pressure off staff, and is not too what's the word, sort of intrusive for the patient as well. So in theory, that should be really good. However, so I had a Whipple surgery in 2018. I've also had my bowel removed in 2010, and that was fine for having a capsule. After that, I had one just before my Whipple surgery. But when I had my Whipple, they removed the duodenum, which is part of the small bowel, the gallbladder, the bile duct, the head of the pancreas, and you basically, like, all your insides just get like a bit replumbed. So my insides are different now, which makes it a little bit more difficult for the capsule to like move around. So the first time that I had it done after the Whipple, I swallowed the camera and then it just like sat spinning in place for ages. And then they didn't get enough pictures because the battery died. In like the recording equipment, it only lasts for like 12 hours or something. So yeah, they didn't manage to get any good pictures. So now, instead of just swallowing the camera, I have to have it placed via gastroscopy. So that's having like a tube put down your throat. And it's my worst procedure. It's just really horrible. It's just because like you've got a mouth guard, you've got like the camera like tube going down your throat, and you're like gagging, and yeah, it's just really horrible. So I always have sedation. However, this time it was a bit tricky for them to put the camera down because it seemed to just want to float back up again. And then I hear people saying things like, get me the net. I guess they have like a little net that they use to kind of scoop the camera and sort of guide it into like where it's supposed to be. I don't know. People were fishing around my insides this morning, I guess. It's all fine. So yeah, so they struggled to get it to sort of stay down in the bowel. So we stopped at that point because like it had been like half an hour, my sedation was wearing off, I was like gagging a lot and getting a bit upset with it. So they said to stop, so they sort of wheeled me back out onto the ward and said we'll give it like half an hour and see what we want to do. Like maybe we'll go back in because at the moment the camera's just sitting in the stomach. Maybe we'll go back in and try and guide it again, or maybe we'll just sort of leave it there and see what happens. Thankfully, when the doctor came back out again to have a look, he had a look at the recording equipment, and it had actually moved into the small bowel, so it's fine. So I'm not worried now about it just sort of staying in the stomach, because it has moved to where it's supposed to be, which is really good. I mean, people can live for like years with like a capsule camera inside you. Like it doesn't cause any issues. Like unless you need to go for an MRI or something like that, then that can cause some problems. So yeah, just really relieved that it's not stuck in the stomach and it is where it's supposed to be, and it is business as usual now, which is really good. What else was I going to say? It slipped my mind. I don't know. So yeah, all in all, a good appointment. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So because he was in there with the sort of doing the gastroscopy, he had a little look around with that as well, so he could tell me afterwards that the stomach looks fine. He didn't need to take any polyps or biopsies or anything, so that's really good. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now is, if I maybe just put my phone here, and yeah, so you can see that I'm wearing like a really sort of baggy long top, because it hides the recording equipment, so I feel like a little bit less like a freak when I'm out and about and people can see the recording stuff. But what I'm going to do is sort of demystify things a little bit, and show you the recording stuff. So I do like to take a long top with me, so that it sort of like covers the recording equipment, especially like if I'm, I don't know, say I work from home most of the time now, but say if I had to go to work, I mean I wouldn't, because I work in London now and that's like an hour away, so I wouldn't be doing this on a work day. I do get the day off, and obviously I've been sedated, so people don't want me making like, I don't know, work decisions in this state. One time when I was Peter was driving me back from an appointment, I was like, I can drive this car, I feel fine, and he just looked at me like, okay, yeah, sure. It might be a little bit difficult to see actually. I should have worn a white t-shirt, but basically, so you've got a strap here. Let's see how much you can see, and then you have like this recording device. Let me just pick you up. So there's a strap that holds this recording device. So it's in its little protective pouch, and then you can see there's a screen. If you tap some buttons, you can actually see the video of what the capsule is seeing, which is really cool. I'm not going to do it because firstly he said that it shortens the battery life, and also I've forgotten which buttons he told me. I think it was like press left, right and then centre, but again, sedation, not a very good memory anyway, so yeah, I'm just not going to touch it. I'm a little bit curious, but I'm not going to touch it. All I know is like my insides are pretty gross anyway, so whatever. So yeah, so that's the machine that does the recording. And then if I just show you the top of the machine, so you can see that there's that blue flashing light. So if I keep an eye on that blue flashing light, sort of throughout the day, like every 30 minutes or so, just to make sure it's still flashing blue, that tells you that the sensor or the recording equipment is all still connected and receiving a signal from the camera inside. And then also, so as well as sort of having that around my shoulder, there's also this like this belt thing, and I think that that's the actual sensor that's communicating with the camera. So that goes sort of all the way around. One tip for the ladies is to wear well, I guess it's just a tip for me. If you really don't like wearing a bra and the first thing that you do when you come home is to take off your bra, or since COVID you just stopped wearing bras and, you know, why bother anymore? Who cares? Which is my take on it. So I bought a really comfortable like pullover bra called the One Bra, and it's just super comfortable. There's no wires or anything. But I didn't wear that today. Obviously I did wear a bra because like the doctor was like putting all this medical equipment on me, so it would have been a bit awkward to like for like me not to be like securing things during that time. So what I did is I wore like a bra that you hook on like normally, because then I can like take it off underneath the t-shirt and like put it through my sleeves without having to like disturb any of the recording equipment, because I mean like once it's on you can't really take it off. So it is putting a little bit of thought into what you're going to wear to the appointment, which is why I posted yesterday saying, oh yeah, comfy jeans, t-shirt, and then get them to put the recording equipment on over the t-shirt, and then if it's cold you can put a jumper on over that, and if you've got a nice baggy one then it can hide the equipment if that's what you want to do. Or if you just want to show the world and, you know, not give a crap what people think, then that's also obviously great. The only thing that's annoying me today, which doesn't normally happen, is that I've also got this little wire. Sorry, I'm just trying to be able to show you. Yeah, so this little wire is not normally this long, and it's just kind of trailing around. So I'm just trying to sort of, just tucked it in the back, and I hope that's all right. Because it was going like down to my knees and I was worried about tripping over it. So yeah, so I hope that sort of demystifies the capsule endoscopy a little bit. Obviously, if you haven't had a Whipple and you don't have the stupid issues that I do, then it's absolutely fine, you know, just to go in and just swallow the camera, get the recording equipment put on you and just go about your day and then bring the equipment back without having to have a gastroscopy. But I mean, I have to have a gastroscopy as a checkup every year anyway, so it's just like, well, just do 2 in 1, you know, we're down there anyway. So yeah, I'm really thirsty because I haven't had a drink today, so I had to stop having food at 9 o'clock yesterday morning. So I had a bit of breakfast. I had cheese on toast, and then I couldn't have anything after 9 o'clock. I could drink, and I had my bowel prep, and we're supposed to have like 500 ml of water, I think, for every litre of bowel prep, and it's 2 litres of bowel prep. And then you just can't drink. Like today, I can't drink until 12:30, and the time now is 11:51. So yeah, so not long, and then me and Peter are going to go for a walk, because it helps like to get the capsule moving, like if you're like walking around compared to just being like sedentary. And I do sometimes worry about like just the capsule not coming out, because of that time before where it took so long to come out because it had just been like spinning in place. Yeah, it does worry me a bit, like saying I have to go back to the hospital and get an x-ray and see, well, has it come out or not? And if it hasn't come out, it's like, well, what do you do then? Like maybe they'd have to do surgery at some point to get it out, especially if you're supposed to be going for like MRIs and stuff, then that could be a problem. Although the doctor did say to me that the other day he had somebody who went for an MRI with the capsule inside and it was fine. So I don't know. But yes, and then I'll be able to eat from 2 o'clock. I can have like a bit of lunch. I'm really craving hot cross buns because I was watching TV last night and literally every ad break was an advert for hot cross buns from like some supermarket. I was just like, yeah, just really want a hot cross bun with like loads of butter on it. So, and we're having burgers tonight. So obviously once the camera has passed, then you can take off all the recording equipment and just like go about your life. It's just business as usual. Last time I had a bath because I was just like so happy, like, oh, I could have a bath now, I can take off the recording equipment and I'm not restricted to do anything. So I had a really nice soak. But today we're gonna have burgers, because by the time like dinner comes around, well, either the capsule will have come out anyway, or it's just far along enough that, you know, you can eat normally, and also it'll have been like hours and hours. Yeah, so I won't have eaten until since I won't have eaten for like over 24 hours when I have a bit of lunch at 2 o'clock. So yeah, so that's the plan. I will take a picture or do another live or something when the capsule comes out, because then I can show you what the recorder does, if I can time it right, because it does take it a few minutes to realise that it's been disconnected. But I'll try and show you, because like the light changes to orange and also it makes a noise, which the first time that happened, it made a really loud noise and I was working. I was in the office back in 2018 and it just made a really loud noise in our open plan office and everybody was like, what's that? It was so embarrassing. But yeah, so hopefully that's useful and interesting and demystifying and made sense in my slightly sedated state. So I'll catch you later. Hey, so it's about 7 o'clock and the camera has evacuated. Yes. So if I just show you here, this light that I said earlier normally flashes blue. If you can see that, it's now flashing sort of a yellowy white colour. So I did actually see the camera come out. I saw it in the toilet. It still had its blue light on the camera itself, so it was like flashing, like making the toilet blue. So I did see it, but if you don't know that it's come out, then that light tells you that the like the recorder and the system have like lost signal with the camera, so you know it's all fine. So that's great, because it means that finally I can take all of this crap off. Oh, it's just getting a little bit annoying. It's not uncomfortable or anything, it's just had enough. Had enough for one day. So just step out of this wire thing. And then, so if I just show you the two parts to it, well, they're all sort of stuck together, but you've got the belt that you wear around your waist, and then you have the recorder in its little pouch. You can see the light still flashing white there. So all that's left to do now is for Peter to kindly take this back to the hospital for me on his way to work in the morning, and then they'll get the pictures off it. So yeah, just they've given me a bag to put it in, just pop it all back in, and yeah, and that's it. It does make a noise eventually, which is really good to know. As I said in my previous video, it did go off at work once and I wasn't expecting it. So yeah, it just starts beeping. If I stand here and talk to you long enough, then we might capture the beeping. But I don't suppose that's really necessary. I don't need to go on and on. But yeah, that's it. So great, now we can go off and you can have dinner when you want anyway, even if you're wearing it. But yes, we can have dinner. I can relax and go put my pyjamas on. I have already changed into my bottoms, obviously, because that's just me. And yeah, I'll if it beeps, I will try and record that for you as well, because why the heck not? Forgot to say, they also give you this little diary to fill in throughout the day. So they mark what time the camera is like swallowed or placed, and then you can just mark out like when you had food or drink, or I don't know, I've put bowel movements on there before, but I forgot this time. So if I put at 7:05, I think it was, Capsule, what do you say, like exited, left body. I should not have filmed this. Capsule, left body test complete. I have no idea what I normally say for these. It still hasn't made the noise that I was talking about, so I'm not sure if like maybe sometimes they just don't. Maybe they take the sensor off. But I just wanted to show you the recording equipment again, just so you can see it a little bit better. So you've got the recorder in its pouch there, and then the belt that you wear that sort of senses the thing, and there's various like wires. Obviously the belt goes like fastens around your waist. It looks a bit complicated, but they do it all for you. They hook you up and they give you all of the details and everything, especially if it's your first time. So yeah, so all good. Fingers crossed now that there's a good result afterwards. That's the main thing. So this is the noise it makes when it goes off, and it will do this for a little while. So I'm just literally just filming a bag, because that's the bag that it's in. Let me, I can't see myself, hopefully I look alright. Oh, it stopped. So yeah, it does that for a little bit, and that's at just gone 7:30, and the capsule exited at like 7:05. So yeah, about 25-ish minutes. Expect it just to make a bit of a weird noise. So yeah, if you're in public, if you're at work or whatever, it's fine. You might just want to bear it in mind, and also so that you're not wandering around your house thinking, what the hell is making the beeping noise? Thought I'd also take a couple of minutes just to sort of debrief with you about the whole day. Well, the whole 3 days, week, whatever. Because I mean, as you can see, it does take a little while to I mean, there's stuff that you need to prep, there's the bowel prep, and then there's like getting stuff that you need that's going to make the bowel prep more pleasant for you. And then thinking about what you're going to wear to the appointment as well, for the capsule. Obviously other people's experiences are going to be quite different to mine because my capsule is placed via gastroscopy. So yeah, like normally if you were doing a gastroscopy, you wouldn't need to do bowel prep. So the bowel prep is for the capsule. And I posted on Instagram on Monday night because I couldn't sleep and I was just feeling a little bit anxious about it. But it's one of those things where it's like, well, what exactly is it that makes you worried? And weirdly, it was one of those things where, like, when I think about it, I can't actually pinpoint what the thing is that's making me worried. Obviously, like fear of like cancer recurrence, not wanting to go through the really horrible gastroscopy procedure, especially today's because it took like half an hour and we thought that it didn't even get in the capsule into the small bowel. But actually that was just Monday night, and once I'd done the bowel prep on Tuesday, I mean, I woke up on Tuesday feeling quite upbeat, and then I did the bowel prep, and then I guess it's a victory that the bowel prep is done. That's something that you get out of the way, and then it's like, oh yeah, it feels really good to have done that, because that is like half of the obstacle. And then even like this morning, waking up to go to the hospital appointment, which was quite early by the way, it was like 8:30, I felt quite calm and not anxious really. And I don't know if it's because I've done this quite a few times now, and it maybe every time I have a different sort of medical thing, it gets a little better because there's fewer unknowns, and you get good at it. It's practice. I don't know. It was weird because I was sat in the waiting room thinking I'm never this calm. I'm always really stressed out and anxious. And then you think, oh, I'm really quite chilled, suspiciously chilled. What has the universe got in store? What's it planning? Why is it luring me into this false sense of security? What's it gonna do to me? That's just our stupid brains, isn't it? Because you don't know. You have no idea, like, what the day's going to be like or what the results are going to be. And then it's another victory again to, like, be able to, well, another victory to have gone through the gastroscopy and it's just over. And then also to know that there was no polyps in the stomach. That's good. They're all just like little victories that you just tick off one by one. Or even if they didn't go that well or you're a bit unsure about the results, at least it's just something that's out of the way and you're like, okay, on to the next thing. What's next? So yeah, and then the capsule coming out and you can take off all the recording equipment and you can do whatever you want and it's not sort of weighing you down a little bit, and you can get changed, and yeah, that's another victory as well. And then hopefully if the results come back and all is good, then that'll be another victory. But to have gotten through the day or the days, and to be able to hopefully look forward to nicer things in life is good. And yes, fingers crossed that it was clear enough for the capsule to get good pictures, and hopefully the results come back okay. I do tend to sort of forget about it for a little while, and kind of think that no news is good news, which has been the case for about a year because my hospital has just been not great at communicating with me and giving me results and stuff. But yeah, hopefully now I can go relax, and all is good. And I hope that this has been informative and Maybe if you have to go to a gastroscopy or do bowel prep or have a capsule, I hope that it's demystified it a little bit and put you at a little bit of ease. So yeah, and I'll just, yeah, I'm available if people want to like talk about anything, and then we'll leave it there. See you later.